Back when Hurricane Michael hit a couple years ago, it hit only 30 miles up the coast here. And it was really close. We still lost power for a bunch of days, and it was nowhere near the devastation here as it was in Panama City, but it made me realize that I needed to do something to protect my family a little bit better in case of a long-term disaster or another hurricane. My name's Douglas Offerbeck. I live in Seagrove Beach, Florida, and BLUETTI has been in my family now for 2 years. Back in 2018, when Hurricane Michael hit the coast here, it only hit 30 miles up the coast. And it didn't hit here horribly, though we were without power for about 4 or 5 days. But it made me realize just how vulnerable we were to the hurricanes here. And I'm from Western New York myself, so hurricanes were pretty new to me back when I moved down here back in 2003. And I just knew I had to do something to have a little better stability for myself and my daughter. And that's when I looked into getting some backup for the house. And after doing a lot of research, I finally pulled the trigger on an AC200P and some solar panels, just so I would have a little more peace of mind if something were to strike close by again and knock our power out. Because even back with Michael missing us, a direct hit, we still lost all the food in the refrigerator, in the freezer, and I knew I had to protect my family better. So I currently have 2 AC200Ps, 710 watts of solar panel backup, and I also have a EB70S solar generator. And between all of them, I can keep the refrigerator and freezer running for 48 hours. I can have my internet, my cable modem and router, my PlayStation 5 and my television, and I can have lights and entertainment for 48 hours if the power goes out. And just having that kind of stability has been very important to me. And then we have a small 1,000 watt traditional gas generator as well. 5-gallon can of gas will let that run for 60 hours straight. And that's what traditionally we would have, just a little gas generator as backup. But having the BLUETTIs and having that little gas generator to charge the BLUETTIs, instead of 60 hours of use, we can go 12 days with one 5-gallon can of gas. So that's 288 hours. So almost 2 weeks of not having to worry if we have a disaster. It's taken a lot of pressure off of me, and when hurricanes and stuff come, if we ride one out, if it's not a bad one, I'm not overly concerned about the long-term effects anymore. I can continue to take care of my daughter and my family.
I was waiting in the undertow, set adrift and fed away like bones, unaware of where my heart would flow. I was waiting in the undertow.
We like to go camping a lot at Florida, where we're at, has water management areas. And what's neat is it's primitive sites, but it's free camping. You can camp up to 14 days in a row for free, and it's all on water. So we'll go up to like the Icafina Springs and go camping at a spring, or on the river and go fishing. And it's just really nice because they're primitive only sites. But with the BLUETTI, we don't have to worry about that because we have our electricity with us wherever we go. So when we take the Jeep camping with the AC200P and the B230, we have the 3 SP120 panels, which will give 360 watts in perfect sun. And then we have a PV350, which will give 350 watts in perfect sun. And between the two of them, the AC200P can actually accept 700 watts of input. And that can easily feed the system on a daily basis in even moderate sun. So we can basically stay out indefinitely if we need to, especially with the B230 lasting 6 days with the refrigerator before it needs charging. So that gives us some good cushion in case there's, some rainy days. With BLUETTI, all their systems can work independently of each other. Like their expansion battery, the B230, works with the AC200P or the AC200 Max, to supplement its power. But you can use it on its own as well, and it has its own DC subsystem that's actually much more efficient than the DC systems in their major units like the AC200. And just that alone, you can charge by solar with the DC charge enhancer and run DC things very well. And that kind of inner use and inner modularity is just, the competition just doesn't have it. And combined with the lithium iron phosphate, which is in everything BLUETTI makes at this point, it's just definitely the system that gives me the most peace of mind and value for my money. And that means a lot to me. So the big thing about owning the BLUETTI for me is, something I know about myself is stability is really important. I've worked for the same company for 26 years. I've lived in the same home for 16 years. And BLUETTI gives me that stability during an emergency that makes me feel safe and good about myself and my family, so I don't have to worry. And then when I'm not worried about an emergency, I can take it in my Jeep and go camping, and it just extends the range of everything I can do in my life, both from a stability standpoint and for having fun with my family.